Shocking unrest is brewing within one of America's most critical health agencies. Over 1,000 current and former employees of the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, have come forward, all demanding the resignation of Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. The catalyst for this extraordinary call? The recent and highly controversial removal of CDC Director Susan Monarez, coupled with sweeping changes that many believe could jeopardize the nation's public health. But here's where things get even more heated. These staffers allege that Kennedy is placing political loyalists, not medical experts, into top roles. In their open letter, they passionately argue, our nation's health policy should rest on rigorous scientific evidence, not the shifting sands of politics. Yet under Secretary Kennedy's watch, HHS decisions are putting every American, regardless of party, at risk. The group urges Kennedy to step down voluntarily. If he refuses, they call on the President and Congress to name a leader whose credentials demonstrate unwavering commitment to unbiased, science-driven policy. And this is the part most people miss. This internal backlash erupted just after Senator Bernie Sanders publicly called for Kennedy's resignation, blaming him for trying to push out Monarez from the CDC. The details are startling. Less than a month after her role was confirmed, Monarez was reportedly dismissed for resisting new restrictions on vaccine availability, including certain COVID-19 shots. Is this a standard leadership shakeup or a deeper attack on vaccine access? That's the crux of the controversy. The fallout didn't end there. 4 high-ranking CDC officials quit in solidarity with Monarez, specifically citing opposition to Kennedy's anti-vaccine policies. In an act of mass protest, hundreds of CDC staffers staged a walkout at the agency's Atlanta headquarters, sending a clear message that morale and trust inside the agency have reached a breaking point. Senator Sanders, in an opinion piece for the New York Times, condemned Kennedy's actions in stark terms. He accused the secretary of endangering public well-being by firing Monarez for refusing to grant blanket approval to policies Sanders called dangerous. Sanders was even more blunt. Despite the overwhelming opposition of the medical community, Secretary Kennedy leads an unrelenting crusade against vaccines, relying on unproven conspiracy theories rejected by scientific authorities. In Sanders' words, it is incredible that in 2025 there's any debate. Vaccines are safe and effective. That's not just my position. It is the clear consensus among scientists and doctors nationwide. But not everyone agrees with this wave of criticism. The Trump administration defended the decision to remove Monarez. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt argued that the president has every right to dismiss senior officials who don't support his mission. She stated that both the president and Secretary Kennedy are dedicated to restoring faith and openness at the CDC, promising that future agency leadership will be increasingly transparent, answerable to the public, and focused on protecting Americans from infectious diseases by championing innovation in public health. Now, the question is unavoidable. Is this about enforcing accountability and the president's vision for reform? Or is it a dangerous tip toward politicizing science? Should health policy leaders be selected primarily for their expertise? Or is political alignment equally crucial during times of crisis? These are tough questions with no easy answers. But one thing is certain, this debate is far from over. Where do you stand? Do you agree with the whistleblowers and Senator Sanders? Or do you think Kennedy and the White House are making the right call? Should ideology or science steer our health leadership? Jump into the conversation and share your thoughts. This is a controversy that's sure to ignite passionate debate.